Patricia.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too.
In the summertime, I spend most of my gardening time here.
Yeah.
And lots of time. It takes lots of time.
It does.
Yeah. I've got a zucchini. I swore after last year I would only grow one zucchini, but this year I have two. It's one too many.
This is only 2 zucchini plants.
Well, it's also several others. It's butternut and acorn, a lot of winter squash. I really like to have the squash in the winter and to know they came from the garden. Last year I didn't have much success with squash. This year I've had not very much success with carrots. It's one of the, I guess, secrets of gardening is to accept that you have to go along with whatever is happening. It's a learning experience. We tried something different, which has been much more satisfactory. We mulched almost everything, but we put newspaper down first, and then between the newspaper and the mulch, it really holds the moisture much better.
It looks like you have some really nice looking cabbages.
They're coming, yes.
Right.
I haven't checked to see if they've got bugs or not.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to find out.
Yeah.
I like to come really early in the morning, and usually there's not other people here, and I love that time. There's sheep and birds and me and bugs, but no people. But on the other hand, I learn a lot from the other gardeners, and so if they come when I'm here, it makes me happy too. I probably prefer it just on my own.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like the peace.
Hi, Bruce.
Hey, Wendy.
How's it going?
Fantastically.
Good.
Fantastic.
I didn't know that you had a plot here in the community garden.
I've actually had a plot since the early days when we were at the Rossman farm.
Oh, okay.
And I got involved there and then moved up here with everyone, and I've been here ever since. Yeah.
Nice.
And it's every year is a new experiment in disasters and wonderful, wonderful creations like this year.
Yeah, so this is your plot right here in front of us.
Yes, I'm plot number 20.
Okay.
It's 20 by 20, and every year I experiment with some new crops and some the standbys that have worked really, really well.
Yeah.
Like the beans have been spectacular this year. And over the years you learn not to do certain things. So this year I staggered them. So I got first planting, 10 days later another planting, 10 days later another planting. And the later ones actually, because of the warmth, caught up and they're almost up. I mean, you see those last row is flowering right now. And it's going to produce another huge bag of these guys.
Wow, so
Yeah,
this is just what you picked today.
This is just now picked, and this is my third picking from just that first row and a half.
Amazing.
And try one.
Yeah, it's a good year for beans.
I did a raised bed because the soil gets so hard. I thought with the beets, I'd see if I can get them bigger because I was having trouble getting them reasonable size. And so actually now the ones that have come along very successful. So I'll probably not do these guys next year, but I'll do a whole bunch more of the beets. A lot of fun though, that everyone in the garden here, I mean, they're lovely to talk with, learn from. And some days you're here totally by yourself, and it's very, very peaceful except the resident sheep that come by. With they've got a limited vocabulary, but they're really interesting to talk to.
Yeah.
And then some days the garden can be absolutely full, and it's kind of exciting where everyone's here and you're kind of looking and talking about what they've grown and their successes and that. So yeah. It's a neat place to be.
Welcome to plot 16.
Plot 16.
I like being up this end. When I come up this pathway and I check everybody's garden up to here. When I go back, I go down that pathway and check all those so that I'm really seeing what people are doing and I don't steal too much produce from them, as I go by. This is agricultural land and it has been such a joy to turn over. It is clay, so it does get pretty rock hard when it's dried out like this.
Yeah.
But it's just wonderful to be able to dig a patch, get down 2 spade depths and get going. I love to grow flowers. This is really meant for veggies because I do grow flowers at home, but you can see I'm a dahlia lover. So this is
Yeah, those are beautiful.
this is Midnight Star. But otherwise, I like to grow a little bit of everything and try not to have too much of anything because I like gardening. I'm not so keen on standing in the kitchen preserving the excess food.
Right.
The bean pole is successful.
Yeah.
And, I've got squash and paddy pan there, and cosmos and gladioli. The artichokes I just grow for decoration, flower arranging, and for the bees. The bees love them.
Yeah.
Quite proud of my Walla Walla onions this year.
Wow, that's huge.
So I've got a good crop. I got a lot at home still just drying off. And down along the fence, which is very thistly, and of course the weeds come through and you can see it was all like that. I've sort of tamed it to be my herb garden.
Okay.
So I've got a nice selection of perennial herbs there. And the birds are unbelievable. As I say, it's one of my happiest Pender places.
I really find it interesting to spend a lot of time with a lot of people doing something that's like for themselves, but like doing it all together. It's kind of a beautiful thing. But you also, there's also a lot of learning. There's a lot of compromise. There's a lot of conversation. There's a lot of laughter in here, and you saw like everybody gets along pretty well, and it's a beautiful place to spend time too, like just coming up the lane and then coming here. The farm, Carl's farm, is so beautiful. We're so grateful to have it, the place to be able to grow. And so I can't imagine not being here.
Yeah.
And I love the challenge of taking over this new plot. This amazing maple tree behind us. But there's always somebody on the wait list who kind of wants to come in and try something new. It might be that they want to try community gardening, or it might be that they just want to try gardening. There have been so many people that have so much experience in here that like I didn't know anything when I first came in, and that's okay. There's space for me too, and so that's like a really nice thing. I just feel so much great gratitude when I'm here that that's worth it,
Yeah.
even if I don't get very many tomatoes, even though I pulled my eggplant, because it was just too dry and I don't know what the heck I'm doing half the time. It's like it's still worth it to be here because it's just such a beautiful way to spend time in nature, and so totally grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
When I was approached by POCGS, that's about 6 years ago, I guess. I'm not sure how long they've been here. I was very skeptical because I just thought, okay, more hippies weren't going to do anything. And then I realized that my former doctor was one Don Williams, and
Right.
people like this, and I thought, okay, yeah, so come on over and bring a shovel, dig some holes, see what you think, because they had to leave next door at the Ross Smith farm when it changed hands. And it was basically just solid clay, almost no topsoil. So this was already here, fenced, watered, but full of weeds.
Right.
So these guys took it on, and they've done a great job, and it's they're all very respectful of my property, my gates, my animals. I got no problems with it. I'm very happy it's working out the way it is.
It just seems like everyone we've talked to today is super appreciative of having such a great sun exposure and fairly decent soil and a reliable source of water.
Yes, yeah.
It's hard on
Well,
some
we're lucky with
properties
the
on
pond. I
Pender.
hope it's there's another one we could use if we have to,
Yeah.
right? But it's not being used. But this pond also supplies our garden at home, and I'm also using it up there as a standby fire protection if it ever happens, which I hope it sure doesn't need.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's only fed during the wintertime, so it's whatever's there is what we got. But it's quite deep. It's about 18 feet in the deepest area. I think it's just amazing what everybody's doing.